Hey folks, welcome back. Levi here once again. Hey, welcome back to another video. I hope you enjoyed my review just today of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 1990 film, and my review of Dick Tracy yesterday. Oh, and I wanted to also say Happy New Year's Eve. Yep. This is the last day of December 31st. And also this is my last review of 2023. Last movie review of 2023. So anyway, this will be a revisit review, as I did review the first one before. I did review the sequel before, back when I started way on my YouTube channel if you want to check it out. But this is a revisit review for the 1990, this film came out in 1990, science fiction action film that is the sequel to Robocop, the first one from 1987, and that is, of course, Robocop 2, with Peter Weller coming back as Robocop, Alex Murphy, and Nancy Allen coming back as Ann Lewis. Yeah. And I will say, I love this film. I love Robocop 2 still. This sequel is so underrated in my opinion. There are a lot of underrated sequels that came out, you know, I think in 1990. Too many, I'm not going to look up any, but two that I think on top of my head that are really underrated are Die Hard 2 and Predator 2. I would say Predator 2 is probably more underrated than this, but this is still an underrated movie. Robocop 2 is awesome. I don't care what the critics said. This is still, in my opinion, this is the last great Robocop movie. This is the last good one, last one that actually mattered. After this, the third and fourth movie, you know, we got some shows, but I heard that they were more kid friendly. Yeah, Robocop can't become kid friendly after this. This film is still rated R, like the first movie. It's not a kid friendly movie. It's not a family friendly film. It is an R-rated movie. It has language, violence. There's blood in here. People get killed. Yeah, there's action in the film. Yeah. It's not, you know, a Disney flick, if you think that of Robocop. No, that's what it should be. That's not Robocop. For Robocop 2, this is an awesome sequel. I don't care what no one says. I think this is an awesome sequel. But if you don't like the movie, hey, to each his own. You know, I don't mean that in that way, but, you know. But I don't understand why people don't like it, but that's just me personally. Anyway. Like I said, this is the sequel to the 1987 film. You do have some other actors coming back as well. But I'll get into the production of Robocop 2. You don't have a making of it on here, but you do have the original trailer. So, but to the production of Robocop 2. Robocop screenwriters Edward Neumeier and Michael Miner started drafting a sequel in September 1987. There was strong demand by Iron, which imposed a deadline of December 31st, 1987. Neumeier and Miner, who were the creators of Robocop, rushed the screenplay, and they were presumably writing for another Orion project, Company Man, a film about the Central Intelligence Agency involvement in the contract. It was planned to be directed by Oliver Stone, starring Paul Newman, and to be able to play for the next United States election. Neumeier and Meyer's draft for Robocop 2, The Corporate Wars, is set 25 years after the first movie. Robocop trying to stop a bank robbery is blown up with the title. I can't speak right. The title protagonist wakes up in a new instant, and United States named Omniplex, consisting of upper-class pixies made out of former cities, and many more Shanta's residents' names. I can't read most of this shit. Yeah. Robocop New System is also the central computer. Robocop 2 follows new subplots, especially as Flicker's plan for domination and violence spreading names. So far, what they want to do with this movie does not sound very good. Robocop code being played with by an American scientist and Chinese hacker. The script depends upon the first film's aspects and the Half-Life City plexus. On March 7th, a 5-month Waters Guild strike is resulted in Neumeier and Miner being fired from the project for breach of contract. Additionally, the writers and Orion struggle to agree on a story, with the studio turned off by the greedy press, which I don't blame them. It sounds like they were just coming up with lame stories. But then let's get into Frank Miller. Frank Miller is also known for, you know, creating the Dark Knight Returns comic book. I actually do have that comic book, The Dark Knight Returns. I haven't read it yet, but I've seen the anime movie. That's an awesome film. In order for a sequel to still be possible, Orion had signed a waiver to develop all the other Robocop scripts, and before he was fired, Neumeier recommended two popular comic book authors and artists to write them, Alan Moore and Frank Miller. Although Moore rejected the offer for the reason of I don't do movies, Miller accepted and started writing his own script, which went through 4 drafts. Davison hired Miller through his company, Turbo Pictures, to write Robocop 3. Also, Tom Arthur directed Robocop 2 after Miner and Newmeyer starring. Miller, even before the original film's release, became popular for his edgy, tragic hero take on the Batman character, The Dark Knight Returns. That movie that came out in 1986, I think. And style also suited for Robocop. Though those are reports of Miller taking influence from covert wars, Draft share multiple traits, but again their plots during the holiday season fall back between corporations and poor citizens. Have Asian actors as Robocop's sidekick in Miller's case, a Japanese teenager named Kiko, and have a violent cause drug selling through. Sorry, Miller's first draft was less comic and had bigger influence on the corrupt fanaticism found in film. With the last showdown pitting Robocop against OCP forces, is it a Robocop? Damn. Sorry. It was enjoyed by Davidson for its grittiness. Robocop producer Joe Davidson was skeptical of presenting a sequel to Robocop. He had a negative opinion on sequels, finding most of them worse than predecessors, and disliked not being able to make a different movie in order to produce another product, items of the first one were used to. Just like he was a dilemma between producing second Robocop and Warren Beatty's screen adaptation of Dick Tracy comics. He chose to do Robocop 2. Good choice, I think. As Robocop is my movie, and Dick Tracy is more Warren's movie. Paul Verhoeven did not return as he was working on Total Recall, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, that came out the same year. As with the first one, multiple directors rejected offers from Davidson to direct Robocop 2, although the different reasons Davidson reported potentials were either considered about following up Verhoeven's directing or not wanting to direct a sequel. Alex Kills, for 1 week, was interested in the project, only to have a screen of the sequel to Exorcist change his decision. Davidson first hired his friend Tim Hunter, person known for River's Edge, to direct Robocop 2, considering his realistic tone with actors and real dark sensibility as reasons. However, Hunter's vision of a dark product like the first film was at odds with the tension of a dark yet humorous film, leading to a totally focused script by June 1989. 11 weeks before filming started, and when Hunter wrote the project, he was replaced by Irvin Kershner. Irvin Kershner was most known for directing The Empire Strikes Back in 1980, and he also directed Never Say Never Again, the unofficial James Bond movie starring the late Sean Connery. Kershner liked to have the same goals as Miller, but Davidson early in development made a requirement for a replacement director not to change the screenplay once shooting started. However, given the very close deadline to begin filming, in the messy state of the script, Kershner had no choice but to work with Miller during filming, as well as willing to tidy up the screenplay. Miller rejected other offers to do this. Sorry, folks, can't fucking talk. Kershner's biggest addition was dialogue. Robert Miller's writing, so phrase it. He also threw additional scenes written by Green for reasons Kershner and Miller already reworked. Orion Pictures were far more original with Robocop 2 than the 1987 film. Charlie going against Miller to input from Miller, Kershner, and the actors, and scheduling a release date before the story was completed, resulting in a rushed production. Newman and Meyer reportedly actively going on, claiming Orion controlled the material-based business decisions and creativity. According to Willard, the film did not have a proper third act as Orion thought. The monster is going to be enough. The monster is Kane, the machine in the movie that Robocop against, the film crew called him that. And actually the monster was created by Phil Tippett, who was known for working on the Star Wars movies, the original films, the original trilogy. Tisdale Rao was skeptical of casting Willard, under the reasoning that the audience would find Robocop the same if another actor was under the element. Similar to how it appeared as of Universal's The Mummy. Willard himself was also skeptical of coming back. He disliked Newman and Meyer's draft as a cartoon and liked the intention. Though did not feel complete with the character, but he did come back and wondered if he should do months of training for acting in a Robocop suit or get paid filming and careering for 10 weeks. Willard returned for a Miller and Green News screenplay, and then the fact that he would again work with Moon, who developed Robocop movements for the first film. You do the making of it. You do the making of this film on YouTube. Peter Willard does say that he worked out quite a bit for this movie because he had to get in the suit a couple times. He had to do new movements, and the thing is, they changed the suit. It's like gray in the first one, but here it's a little more like bluish with the Robo suit. Nancy Allen, already having completed cop character in the first Robocop, still made progressive shooting Robocop 2. She learned martial arts and spent 2 months of training at Los Angeles Police Academy. Although Kane was originally planned to be a professionally suit drug dealer, his actor Tom Noonan came up with a character being a former hippie, with the acting experience as one in the 1960s. Robocop 2 was chiefly filmed in Houston, downtown Houston. The final film was shot in Houston Theater District, Warrenton Theater Center, and Allied Theater. Chris's first week spent storyboarding the visual effects during pre-production of the first month of Robocop 2. For background plates, for field tips, animated special effects of the final battle scenes, a week spent filming a major sequence in an abandoned steel mill. Kirshner would direct the film's other scenes in terms of acting, lighting, and camera movements. The second unit was directed by Conrad Ponsley and shot in Los Angeles. Alan praised Kirshner for his attention to detail. She later criticized the director in terms of running the humor and heart of the screenplay, which Peter Willard was also critical of the script. Didn't have a third act. I disagree with that, Peter Willard. I mean, he will always be Robocop, don't get me wrong, but yeah. Despite that, though, Willard did enjoy working on it. He just complained about the ending, which it does have a third act, which was an awesome ending. Like I said, Phil Tippett returned from the first Robocop to do the visual effects of the sequel. This time, all the effects units working on Robocop, creating Robocop 2. Tippett worked at Industrial Light and Magic for Empire Strikes Back. Most of Robocop 2 was created by Hunter Stein as director. Robocop 2 designer Bob Bilton, although not overseeing the process like in the first film, returned to produce a new suit for the second film. Yeah. So there were some changes there. Stop motion and computer animation was used for the final showdown between Robocop and Robocop 2, aka Kane, who was the villain of the film who becomes Robocop 2. The film score is different too. It is by Leonard Roseman. He did music scores for like Beneath the Planet of the Apes, Star Trek War Voyage Home, Battle for the Planet of the Apes. But I like this score. Some people were mixed on it, didn't like the score, you know. It's like I can't do it right, but I think it's a good score. Of course, this film, the original score in the original film is better, That's better, but I like the theme here too. With the sequel, though, I can understand why they did different. Robocop made a guest appearance at WWC pay-per-view event, Capitol Hill, where they produced the movie to market the film. The film didn't get good reception from critics. Several critics, such as Roger Ebert, hated, the character Gabriel Damian played Hob, which I disagree. I like Hob. You know what? They have balls to make a character like this. A kid villain. Take some guts. Roger Ebert, wrote, Kane Sidekick's a violent album with a young boy named Hob, who looks to be about 12 years old, but kills people without remorse. So it's like Eddie Murphy, and Vince takes over the drug business. Well, Roger Ebert, I know, may rest in peace, but again, this is not a kid's movie. And at least they have the balls to do it. Now, I will say this, the original Robocop is better, but this I do think is a good movie. And of course, you would have Robocop 3, a sequel, a novelization. You had comic books, probably based on the movie. You also had a video game for the movie. Yeah, they made a video game for the movie. Because back then that was a thing. In the game, Robocop must stop a drug distributor, Kane, from selling a new drug known as New. The Game Boy and Nintendo 64 version were primarily shoot-'em-up games. Of course, I guess you play Robocop and shooting bad guys and going after Kane at the end, probably. I'm guessing, but I never played the game. But it was created by Ocean Software? Yeah. Well, it was a time where, making video games for movies was a big deal at this time. Oh, but I will say that this movie is still part of my superhero marathon. Yeah, you might not say Robocop is a superhero, but he's a tragic hero, I would say. At least to me. Sorry if the lighting doesn't look well. Sorry. But to get into the plot synopsis of Robocop 2. Cyborg Detroit policeman Alice Murphy, aka Robocop, is assault officer on duty after the police force goes on strike against evil, OCP, Osumi Consumer Products, and is pushed to foreclose in the city of Detroit. Aside from dealing with the normal level of crime, Murphy must take on a crime boss, a new villain in town named a drug lord named Kane, who starts the spread of a dangerous new drug called Nuke, and the attempt by psychiatrist Dr. Julia Fax to create another Robocop using a hardened criminal, using Kane. So pretty much, he goes through some personal stuff in this movie, a bit of his humanity in this film. And by dealing with Kane eventually becomes OCP is tired of Robocop. They just think he's not useful anymore, so they want to build another Robocop. Someone's on the hours 24/7, doesn't have to sit down sometimes or eat baby food like Robocop does. So they basically want to create a new Robocop, and this is a Robocop who's big and a giant, but they put it in the mind of Kane. They kill Kane, and pretty much with that, Kane goes on a rampage, starts killing officers and innocent people, and of course Robocop must defeat Kane and stop him at the end. So, there's a plot for you. I get to the movie itself. So, Robocop 2. So the movie starts off, with, you still get the satire, of course, in the beginning with the, with the commercials, with the media. First you see John Glover. John Glover's in this movie. Oh, I forgot to mention the damn cast. Alright, it's written by Edward Kirshner, screenplays by Frank Miller, Walt Green. There's some characters created by Edward Newmeyer and Michael Miner, produced by Joan Davidson, cinematography by Mark Orvin, is edited by Willie Smith and two other people, music by Leonard Roseman. It was released June 22nd, 1990. It's 117 minutes long. The budget was $25 to $30 million, and it made $45 million, $7.4 million worldwide. For the cast, you have Peter Willow coming back as Alex Murphy, Robocop, Nancy Allen as Officer Alan Lewis. You have Wendy Bauer as Dr. Julia Fax. Dan O'Hurley also comes back as the old man, OCP president. Philip Perry as Donald Johnson, he comes back in the first movie. Tom Noonan as Kane. Willie Cook as Mayor Marvin Kuzak. Gabriel Damian as Hobb. Galen Gorg as Angie Hobb and Kane. They're all the villains of the movie. Stephen Lee as Officer Duffy. Robert DeBoo as Sergeant Warren Reed. He also comes back too from the first movie. Kim Laren as Tom Delaney. Jeff McCarthy as Halston. Thomas Rowell Jr. as Jet. John Glover as a magnet salesman. Yep. Frank Miller as Frank. He's uncredited, but he has a cameo. He's like a scientist working for Kane, working on the drug Nuke. Yeah, but you got some of the cast members returning in this film too. Not just Peter Williams and Italian, but like I said, the old man, Johnson, and Sergeant Reed come back from the first movie too. But I said, like with the opening, again, back to the film itself. Sorry. Anyway, back to the movie itself. Sorry. You have opening satire with a guy trying to steal a car and goes into the car, but the car, grabs him and it shocks him. And you have John Glover, see, Magnavolt. You don't have to use it. No call rooms, no police coming up. It just is pretty simple. Magnavolt. You can get it for get it. But what happens there? Sorry. But then you have them talking about Kane. You see this guy in this country, I guess he's like the president or whatever, talking about our threat, Nuke. And he gets shot, he gets killed, he gets by one of Kane's followers. And Kane himself, you see him on TV, that Kane's a psychopath, that he's not just a drug lord or a drug dealer that created this drug, but he's a psychopath. He has a godlike complex, thinks he's very godly. That's how I consider Kane. But he's just a psychopath, But police officers are on strike. but you have some people getting robbed. You have this, this old lady, driving a cart. Her cart gets hit. She's trying to get her stuff, and this guy steals something from her. And then these hookers beat him up, and then these bad guys beat this place up. They blow this place up. They steal these guns. It's like, hey man, where's the weapon in this thing? The bullets is it's in there. Take it and go. He's like, sure, pow, pow. They grab missiles, all these weapons. All the cops are on strike, but except one, and that is Robocop himself. You see Robocop driving his car. You don't notice them first, but the guy shoots the missile at him, and then shoots the missile again. Robocop gets out of his car. Awesome moment. Pulls his gun out, which is awesome, and shoots the bad guys down. Pow, 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 pow. That's cool. He's like, think it over, creep. And he shoots the guy, and Robo looks into the guy's car, pulls it out, pulls sees the drug nuke. He's like, nuke. So he's like, asks the guy, because since he has it, he's like, where is it made? He's like, I don't know, man. That's not my stuff. I didn't touch it. Robocop grabs his nose, starts breaking his nose, like, ah! He's like, Robocop's like, where is it made? And he tells him where, and Robocop goes to that location. He goes to this manufacturing plant. He's just walking around the streets, with his guns out, knocking on the door. Guy looks at the door. Robocop punches hits, and Robocop sees two guys in a freezer. And Lewis shows up later and takes him out. But Robocop, sees the drug factory, sees Kane, Angie, and Hobb there. He's like, don't nobody move. Nobody move. And the bad guys try to shoot him. Robocop, pow, 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 pow. And, I like the moments in here. The movements of Robocop is really good. Because he'll do this, pow, pow, pow. Some guy tries to shoot Robocop behind that. Robocop, pow, 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 shoots the guy. And you do have particle blood squibs in here, too. The Robocop isn't as, calm down, but Kane, Hobb, and Angie Kane and Angie get away. And Kane, this lady's in his limo yelling at him or whatever in Spanish, so he just kills her. And Hobbs in there, but he sees Robocop. Robocop is about to, but sees him. And he's like, and Hobbs says, can't shoot a kid, can you, fucker? And then, pow, shoots him in the face. And this reminds Robo of his kid, Murphy of his son. And that just kind of affects him, but then he goes back to it. They take some more bad guys down. Ann shows up. This guy kidnaps the kid saying, I want to blow this kid's head off. Leave me alone. He's like, drop it, Lois. And he's like, no, we won't believe, no. And Robo, because again, he has his targeting system. He has a system to see where he can use his bullet to shoot the guy, so shoots the door, hits the door, and the bullet hits the guy in the head, kills the guy, saves the baby. He's like, good job, Murphy. And he's like, yep. And then he steps on and throws the drug, and then you see him. Robocop, day by day, watches his wife and son outside their new home. He just, keeps down on Mrs. Murphy, though, his wife. You see memories of, with his wife and son, him having flashbacks. Of when he was Alex J. Murphy, when he was just a man. His wife wants to see a little LCP. Then OCP, one of the businessmen of OCP comes in and talk to him and say, you're pulling this crap. She lost her husband. Her husband is dead. Alex Murphy is dead. He doesn't exist anymore. Although Robocop does believe that. Robocop is like, yes, Robocop, do you really think you can give her a man's love? Do you love her like a man's love? And Robo's like, no. But when he says it, you feel that pain and, because Peter Willer's got those eyes, you feel his sadness deep down. But he does realize that, even though the guy's in church, he realizes, I think Robo realized the guy's right, Robo realizes he has to, Murphy realizes he has to let his wife go, so they let her come in to see him, and he looks at her and he's like this, touch me. Right here, touch him right here. They made this to remember in remembrance of him. Your husband is dead. I don't know you. Robocop says to the lady, says to, Murphy says to his wife. She runs away crying. And he sees her crying. Like, I can't believe this is happening, but this is sad. But this is part of Robo's humanity, is that he had to let his wife go. He had to let his wife's son go. For their sake. And for his. Because he couldn't keep on. He had to let him go. Because think about it, Robocop cannot really be with his wife and son anymore. He's just half machine now. He can't play baseball with his kid. He can't have relations with his wife. Can't really do that no more. But, and for her and her son to move on too. I'm sure that was his point. But Robo just had to move on. It's sad. It is really sad, but he had to move on. I think there's really the scenes in here where, Murphy visits his grave, or he sees a woman taking a shower, but he can't do nothing about it. He has no dick. Doesn't have one. But that one has to keep in. Not the woman being in the shower. I mean, like him visiting his grave. But, scenes of his humanity. A little more added in here, that would have been nice. But I get it, though. Unlike the remake where it tries to focus too much on that drama, really, this is not a drama. So, Anyway, moving on. Of course, Robocop recorded what Hobbs said. They follow him and Hobbs they follow Hobbs and his henchmen to an arcade where they're selling drugs to an Officer Duffy. Officer Duffy, who is a crooked cop, that works for Kane. Some of the cops either quit, and some of them, like Duffy, they work for Kane. Helping him with his drugs. With his drug empire. And, he sees him making a deal with Duffy, and Duffy's like, come on, Duffy, you need Nuke. You need it. He's like, okay. Even though he gets tired of it. But, Robocop and Anna show up. Robocop goes to the kids in the arcade. He's like, isn't this a school day? And they throw food at him and stuff at Robocop. And they're trying to get out of there. And Anna tries to stop, Hobbs and his henchman, but Hobbs' henchman tries to fight Lewis a bit. But Lewis, she does some karate chopping, I think. And, Nancy Allen did practice some of those karate chops. She was really good. Hobbs wants to shoot at cops, will shoot at some people, whatever. He's got like a radio, but it's actually a machine gun. Like, it looks like a radio's blue. All he does is pop it out, machine gun, and he's like, shit, because he can't shoot it. So he runs out, he grabs this rope, little tiny rope he has, tries to choke Aunt Lewis. She's able to knock him off, but him and his henchmen, they get out of there. Yeah. And then the mayor, of course, sorry, not the mayor, but Duffy questions. But, Duffy tries to get away too, but Robo runs into Robocop, and Robocop beats him. Was like, you sold us out, Officer Duffy. And he beats him up. He's like, where is Kane? He won't tell him. He's like, I can't tell you that. He's like, where's Kane? He's said to an arcane system, he's like, where? He's like, he tells him where he's like, you're a bad cop, Officer Duffy, and he pushes him away. But OCP, of course, they want to rebuild the city. They need to make a new Robocop 2. The old man who's still in charge, they talk to the mayor. The mayor is this guy that is nervousy, jumpy, and all I can say about he screams a lot, a lot, and it's very foul mouth. He's like, gentlemen, we'll see you guys. Just give it your best shot. The old man says. He's like, I'm getting mad, And so she comes up with that issue. The lady, Dr. Julia Fax. Julia Fax, she throws that Murphy's strong oil code and straight up and where Kurt won his success. So she convinces the old man to, have her way where she can maybe use somebody different. So she becomes, she wants to use criminals, and the guy doesn't agree with it. The doctor says, I'm going to report you. They try to build Robocop 2, but it doesn't work, because the doctor gets shot in the head, not in the head, right in his arm. One lady gets killed, and one of the Robocops basically tears her face off. You see the skeleton, creepy. And so, she's looking to death row inmates, but he calls Johnson just to go report to the old man, but the old man says, I know about it, Johnson, And of course, you feel like him and Miss Fax probably in a relationship a little bit there, But she wants to offer to death row inmates who desire power and immortality rather than police officers. But Robo goes to confront Kane, at his hideout. He goes to this old steel mill. Kane's men are just hiding out. They have a trap set up for Robo for his car. His car blows up. They look, they think, yeah, Robo was dead. But apparently Robocop is not dead. He's just hiding. He was able to trick them. But they somehow know he's alive, and it's kind of weird though, he kind of the stuff that Kane has, stuff of, kind of like a little museum he's got, like of Jesus or, the dead Elvis. It was just that Kane likes to consider himself immortal. But he sees Angie, follows her. And then sees Kane. He's like, you. He's like, you looking for me? I'm under arrest. He's like, you're coming with me. That's what Robo says to him. He's like, dead or alive, you're coming with me. I guess one of us is going to have to die. Kane says, and Robo says, dead then. Before he can try to arrest him, Hop shoots his arm off. He's shooting him up, and Angie shoots him with this weapon that electrocutes Robocop. And Kane's like this. Jesus had days like this, being wounded and tortured and hounded like this. Yeah. But I don't blame you. They program you to do it, and you do it. Yeah. And Robo, even though he's getting shot, he's like this. Robo's just getting shot. He's like, I will kill you. And he's like, you just go ahead and try. And Robo's able to use his arm as a electric weapon and shock Angie. Robo tries to get up, but they use a crane this hook to knock him down. They use this magnet to pick him up and start torturing him and start, cutting him apart. Hop is like, oh, he's got a brain in there. I want to see. They start blowing him. Robo's like, The cops are showing strike. They drop Robo off, and Robo was just, this is what Kane and his men do to him. Eventually, Kane knew that Duffy, ratted him out on his hideout. They get him out of jail and say, come on, Duffy, it's okay. And they knock him out, put him on his gurney, chained up. And he's like, come on, Kane, I would never fuck you. I wouldn't betray you like that, man. I wouldn't do that. He's like, Kane, he could have been killed. You think you're the only police officer we got in our background, in our paychecks? You think you're the only cop we have? And the doctor's like, shouldn't the kids leave? Shouldn't Hobbs leave? He's like, why? Kane says. And Angie didn't expect it either, but the doctor uses his scalp. And while Duffy's alive, strapped, naked, you could say probably, on the gurney, the doctor starts, because he's a little more overweight than I am, but the doctor starts cutting down here to his chest. Really bloody, so bloody they don't even show it. Hobbs is disturbed by seeing it, but Kane grabs his head and forces him to watch it, as Kane is statistically enjoying it. But after what happens to Murphy, though, OCP says they can't fix him, they can't do nothing about it. Or they refuse to, they can, they just refuse to. Because the parts would cost millions of dollars just to get them fixed up. And they refuse to do it. And so what they do, is OCP finally does do it, take care of it, but Vax comes up with the idea to do it, but, she programs well with the new and software directors. They put with the OCP board of directors, she goes to them and they say, well, why doesn't cop, he gives speeches or do this or that. And Evie Johnson tries to get smart, but she's like, thank you, Mr. Johnson, that was very helpful. She goes to Robocop, he's like, where you gotta go? Where you have to go do? He's like, I gotta go fight crime. He's like, who are you? I'm Alex Murphy. He's like, I am Robocop, OCP product, and he puts stuff in her, she puts stuff in his mind, like Robocop says weird stuff the way he wouldn't act, by saying, it's a lovely day, like, well, it's good to see you, Murphy. I'm touched, And, have these little kids robbing a store. These kids, looks like they came in for a little league baseball game, they start robbing a store, beat up an old man. And she's like, Murphy, wake up. And Murphy gives up, like, good morning to the guy, and the guy shooting at him. And, Rose is able to shoot the guy, thinks to be behind Robo. But she shoots him dead. And she gets the kids. He's like, what are they? He's like, little bastards right here. And he's like, don't move, anybody move. He's like, and then Robo's picking up the dead guy like this. He's like, you're the right to bring. He's like, Murphy, you're reading romantic to a corpse. He's like, I'm having trouble. He's like, kids, that language does not do this. What would your parents think? What would your parents want? Like, kids are like, he's fucked up. One of them says, let's get out of here. So the kids run out of there. And then they go to the neighborhood. Robocop starts hydrant, and the kids just spray him. And Robocop says, wait. He was looking at this guy smoking. Shoots it at him around his head. He's like, thank you for not smoking. Scares the guy to death. He's like, Louis, you're here. He's like, come on, Murphy, speed up. The speed limit is 35. We must take an example. I was like, isn't it a lovely, beautiful day out? Isn't the moon lovely, Lois? She's like, it's daytime, Murphy. He's like, it's the thought that counts. She's like, all right, that's it. We're taking you back to, they chat with him. They put so much data in his head. So Robo, takes that cord out of his head. He shocks himself with the high voltage transfer. He just shocks himself, and is able to whatever board and just hit him, And he goes like, no, like, they pick him up. He's like, I'm back to normal. He's like, what's bugging you, Murph? One of the cops say, Kane's bugging me. So we're cops, aren't we? We're cops. He's not bad guys. So then the cops, they get off track and they go after Kane. Kane is talking to, about kind of rebuilding his drug empire. With Frank, Frank Miller, like there's a cameo in here. It's like, Frank, that's, or something like that. I don't know. It's weird. But the cops show up, and so they're all trying to get out of there. They go in there with the drug bust. Some guy in a sniper tries to get Robocop, but Robocop sees him in time, and shoots him right in the target. And you see, and the Robocop, shoots his eye out. And the Robocop shoots one guy, does this. Shoots one guy with blood squibs, and the cops are getting shot at. One cop gets injured. This one guy's getting the cops. He's on a high ground, but Lewis is able to sneak around the guy and take him out. Angie and Hobbs are get away in a truck. Kane does too, but Robo follows him. Well, Robo doesn't follow. Robo jumps on because he runs over Robocop, and Robo just jumps over. He sees him in the mirror, and Kane's like, there's that smile, and runs him through a bar, tries to run him through walls, and Robo's not falling through. He hits a pole. Then Robocop, these three motorcycles come by, but he goes through and he just grabs it, and the guy falls off, and Robo rides that motorcycle. That was cool. I love seeing Robocop ride that motorcycle for those 10 minutes at least. But Kane makes one mistake. He decides to play chicken with Robocop, so they just each other Robocop, and Kane are dead eye on each other. Just vroom, 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 and go. Kane does a bad note, so Robocop just jumps in there and injures him badly. He just ends up in the hospital. And Hobbs and Angie, he's just saying, we need to go back. He's like, fuck Kane. She's like, he'd kill you if he heard you say that. He's like, forget him. He's dead. There's plenty of cops. We all got weapons. He's like, I'll take control. So Hobbs decides to take control of the drug empire. With his new condition, so she thinks she can control Kane, Vax selects him for the Robocop 2 project. They make him Robocop 2, this big giant. Similar to 209, but a little more taller. So what she does is like, she sees Kane's body, Kane, well not body, but Kane's in the hospital. She takes him off his life support. He's like, dies. And the doctors, you see them cut out his brain. They cut out his eyes, his brain, his spine. You see his head. Perfect, little animatronic there of Tom Noonan's head. And they make him the Robocop, and he's got like on this radio, you can see Kane's face. And he wants to nuke. She's like, I need you to do something for me first. But the mayor is contacted by Hobb because he fails to pay the city's debts. So Hobb offers to retire the city's entire debt in exchange for a hands-off policy towards nuke. Therefore, no following OCP scheme of putting towards the city's construction. In that way, Hobbs, who gets to control the drug empire, gets control of nuke. They don't get to tell people about it. He's like, you get to be the mayor who cleaned up Detroit. OCP knows that this move's coming, so they send Kane to the meeting as Robocop 2, as the big monster he is now. Kane saws everyone, he just jumps in. Hobbs like, what the hell is that? He shoots the lights out, he's got this like big tank machine gun as an arm, starts shooting guys down. Mayor, has a sidekick or, his right hand man or whatever, tries to run out, his fat man tries to run out. He gets shot, he chose to stand back up, I'll be fine. I'll get shot again. Dies. Everybody gets shot. The mayor himself was able to escape. But he sees, he does run in Robocop 2, but is able to jump out of a tunnel. He jumps out of the tunnel. He sees Angie, he sees her as a memory. And then he shows her the recording of his face, and she's like, Kane. He's like touches her. He's like, he just can't really talk. He's just makes moves, and he's like, it'll be something they can get used to. But eventually, Kane realizes that she betrayed him, so did Hobb, realizing what she did to him, and in anger, just lets that go, and grabs her neck and just breaks her neck real bad, kills her. Tries to go for Hobbs next. Well, he does shoot out of Hobbs, jumps in the truck. Hobbs is injured, still barely alive. He's only able to shoot some of them though, because he was distracted by a guy trying to shoot at him. So Kane, turns around, shoots this guy. Robocop arrives eventually, sees what happens, or doesn't know what happens, just sees, has his gun. Of course, Robo, of course, has his gun in the movie like this. He sees Hobb, he's like, you're going to get a shot. He's like, no, I might die. I'm dying. And you do feel sad for Hobbs though, as that usually his life wasn't very easy to turn to crime at such a young age, but you do feel sorry for him. And Robo can see some of his son in him. I'm just saying in a way, that's why he didn't really want to hurt Hobbs, because Hobbs is just a innocent child if you think about it, just kind of getting raised by psychopathic people. And he, before Hobbs died, Robo's like, who did this? He's like, Kane. Tells him it was Kane. And then it gets reported on the news about it, and the mayor declines anything that happened. The chairman presents another rolling ceremony for Kane Delta City, where they want to redevelop and they want to rebuild Delta City into a bigger city, but they don't tell people something to do it. Mayor doesn't agree with what they're doing, but people tell him to sit down, and they tell him Robocop 2 is going to seek this drug out. He's like, this drug nuke. And Kane tries to go for the drug. Is able to get it. Well, not get it. He can't get it, but they try to keep it under control by, having this radio. Well, not this radio, but this, kind of like this radio to control him. This remote control to control him. Then Robocop comes like this. Kane, let's step outside. Kane, let's step outside. Robocop just shoot him, but he can't. So he grabs the machine, the remote, and destroys it. And he starts shooting at Robocop. Robocop, has this big armed can weapon, which I thought was cool. Cops try to shoot at him, but he kills the cop. Then he even starts shooting at some people too. Goes on a rampage. Well, he's able to shoot Robocop down. But Robo was able to shoot his targeting system down just like a cannon he's got on the side here. Robocop shoots that off. Robo tries to use his gun to shoot him more, but it has no effect on him. And so Kane is Robocop to Kane. So Kane does this one punch at him. Sorry, I'm trying to call that back. But anyway, he does this punch. Punches Robocop out. He kind of tosses Robocop around a little bit. He's a very big and strong, and then he tries to shot Robocop to get out of it. Or able to grab his gun, his cannon, and get away from him to shoot it at him. Robocop tries to escape through the elevator. He's able to use a rubber rope and shoot the rope and shoot him up. And it takes Kane down, but Kane's able to stop. And, just kind of running back up there like he's a spider, real fast. Jumps and grabs Robocop. And they go to the building. They're at the edge of the building. Kane's trying to hold on. And Robocop's like, he's like, you're coming with me, Kane. And they roll straight to the ground. And Kane goes more on a rampage. Robocop goes to get the nuke canister. Because there's only one way to stop him, to defeat him, is to get the nuke. And that's where Robo goes, where he goes for the nuke. Puts it in the canister. Meanwhile, he's shooting cops down. He's, shooting people down. Innocent people down. They're getting shot and hurt. Even news media are getting killed. News media is getting killed. News media is getting murdered. But eventually, I like the one Anne. She goes in this tank. Some guy tries to stop her, but she kicks him away. She jumps in this tank and she runs him down. Which that was a bad move. See, Anne is a badass in this movie. Anne Lewis, I like Anne Lewis in this movie still. I do think her hair looks good in this movie. Probably the best looking her hair looks. In the third movie, Elite A, she's still better than she is in the third movie. The third movie, I thought she was doing it for a paycheck, and she dies. Yeah, her character dies in the third movie. Spoiler alert, Robocop 3, Anne Lewis dies. So, I like this movie. She's a badass and serves a good purpose to being Robo's friend, Still know that he's Murphy through all that, But anyway, back to the movie. Kane comes, Robo looks too, but Kane comes out, he's still alive. She's like, damn, he's going to attack more. And Robocop says, let's give him what he wants. So he gives Lewis the nuke. He sees it, he stops attacking. She throws it right down and catches it. And unbeknownst to him, Robocop is behind him. Very careful and jumps around Kane. Kane's trying to get him off his back, trying to jump around, roll around, even hit to the wall. But Robo, pow, 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 shoots back and is able to grab his, go inside of him and back in his back here and grab his brain out. And then Kane's rampage, he grabs his brain out. He's like this. Kane's leaning to the camera, like, He's like, good. Robo has his brain like, goodbye. And dies. The chairman decided to use Dr. Fax for Kansas, get her to blame her, get her reputation ruined, get her fired, her big trouble for it, although she doesn't know it yet. She's just going to act for him, but because they do talk about, but we're going to get sued, we got to do something about this. They said because a lot of people are dead, they're going to blame it on us, so they try to blame it on Dr. Fax. You know, he's like, well, Murphy, there goes get away again. You know, and we can't touch the son of a bitch. She's talking about the old man. And then Robo says, easy, Lois. We're only human. Fix himself up. And then the movie ends there. So that's Robocop 2. Yeah, that's the ending of the film. I'm going to try with some quotes from the movie, okay, y'all? Thank you for not smoking. Your hair looks lovely that way. It's OCP that did something to you. I'm fine. Isn't the mood wonderful tonight? It's still daytime. It's the thought that counts. Oh, Jesus, we're going to head back to the station. You want me? Dead or alive. One of us must die. Dead then. Don't leave me. I won't leave you. I'm going to die. You know what that's like. Don't you? It really sucks. And Robert says yes. You are under arrest. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you can will be used against you in a court of law. He's dead, Murphy. You have the right to return. You're really ran to a corpse. I'm having trouble. Oh, I forgot to mention the great line of the movie. Damn. Can't believe I forgot to mention. But when Robocop and Robocop 2 and Kane about, you know, start fighting the old man, you know, with over top says this, behave yourselves! You know, behave yourselves. That's hilarious. I can't believe I forgot to mention that. Dang. I remember it sometimes. I just forget to mention things, folks. I'm sorry. Sometimes in my brain I forget things. I'm only human. Hey cops, how what? Cops and they ain't carrying no Peterson. That was when you laugh when they were going right after, you know, to take Kane down. This guy says they're gonna kick somebody's ass. Helen Murphy, Alex, don't you know me? Don't you remember me? Alex, it doesn't matter what they've done to you. Touch me. It's cold. They made this to honor him. No, your husband is dead. I don't know you. When he is a little ago. Jesus, head like days like this, hounded and tat like a criminal. But like him, I don't blame you. They program you, and you do it. And when Bobo does it, you know, he can't even like, goodbye. That son of a bitch, get away with it. We can't even touch him. We're only human. Patience. Okay. But yeah. Let me give my final opinion on Robocop 2. Yeah. I love that poster, by the way. Really love that poster for this movie. They give some really good posters out for this film. Alright, to give my final opinion on Robocop 2, this movie is awesome. This is a great film, I think, great sequel. I personally would say it's just as good as the first movie. And like I said, well, not better than the first movie. The first movie is better, but this is different, which the sequel is. You know, different story, different villains. It's a different story. He's not fighting just, you know, it's not a story about going for revenge or anything. You know, it's still about him being human. He's still, you know, you see the more human side of him in this movie. That he knows who he is now, but Robo, since he doesn't let his life go, he doesn't let his pain go, he doesn't let everything go, his life go. He does what he does best, which is fighting criminals. You know, that's what he does. That's what Robo does. You know, he's got a good story. I like that it's, you know, you got a new villain, Kane. He's a drug dealer, like, has drug empire. He's insane. He's got a godlike complex. But Clarence Boddicker didn't have a godlike complex. He could probably thought himself as untouchable, but not godly. He wasn't a drug kingpin. He just wanted to, well, take over the whole city of that. And Dick Jones was trying to rule the CP with an iron fist, you know, and do some illegal stuff, but was caught, and trying to get rid of the old man. But different villains in here. I like the engine. Hop, you know what? They have balls to have a villain like Hops. Have a kid villain. That was interesting. I can remember this. One person said to me, "What does he have to do with the story?" He's got plenty to do with the story because it's Robocop. It's rated R. It's called having balls to do something. You gotta have guts in the movie business. Sometimes you gotta have the balls to add a new kind of character. But this is rated R, yes. A rated R movie. This is not a kid-friendly movie. You know, Hobbs doesn't make kids look as a puppy, no. Because Robocop 3, that's family from that's a little grown up, but that, you know, she makes H09 as well as a puppy, and that's just stupid. Yeah. What's that kid got to do with Robocop 3? Yeah, except to make more family-friendly, which, you know, having a villain like Hobbs, that was interesting, I thought. And I liked Angela. I thought that she was beautiful. She was beautiful playing her. Tom Noonan I thought was great as Kane. Definitely one of the best villains of the franchise. Yeah. But other than that, the villains were just forgettable in the last movies. But Kane was good. I like how he becomes Robocop 2 and Robocop him got a fight. That was an awesome fight scene at the end. I just love the way it's shot. It's stop motion animation. It's very beautiful to look at. It's awesome to look at. I love the way Detroit looks still. Background shots, cinematography looks really good. The action is good. Very nice, well shot. They still do stop motion animation. I like that. I like the new music score. Yes. Any problems? Making Robocop, kind of like water him down to be nice people. It can be funny, but yet sometimes a little annoying to omit. So maybe I have one problem with that with the film. And like I said, it's not as good as the first movie. The first movie is still the best one, best story-wise. That's about, finding his revenge and his humanity. This one he retains his humanity, but he continues fighting criminals and he has to go up against a new bad guy, Robocop 2, but you can't really have lightning in a bottle twice, But this is still an awesome movie. It's still entertaining. It's only around 57 minutes long, 117 minutes, but it goes by at a pretty good pace, I think, Sometimes it depends on how long you pause the movie, too. It can feel longer to watch. So, I felt like it took me this morning to watch this today afternoon, but it's still a great movie, though, nonetheless. I love Robocop 2. This is an awesome sequel. Anything else? Yeah, cinematography, the editing is good, the action scenes are well shot. The practical blood squibs, I like that still. The music was good, the running time is fine, I think. Can't think of anything, special effects were good. Everything was really good about the movie, except, having Robocop being normal, that was a little weird and unnecessary, couldn't done without that. I guess they wanted to add some humor in that, which is fine, though. Robocop has always been... And so, they do have this, they have Sunblock 5000, this woman put Sunblock 5000, like, blue sunblock on herself. Which of course it's random, though, but that works with Robocop, the satire commercials. But Robocop 2, it still maintains very horror. You have Peter Willard, which is great. Nancy Allen. The cast coming back is great. Tom Noonan was great. Daniel Hurley. The rest of the cast coming back is really, really good. I wish they would have gave Warren Reed more to do. They do have the third movie, although that sucks. I wish he would have, maybe took a stand and fought with his officers. The whole entire police force taking on Kane. That would have been awesome. If Reed would have joined in the fight. I wish, they gave Warren Reed Sergeant Reed more to do. That would have been awesome. To have him do a bit more. They had this character, I forget, in the first movie. It was a cop that hated Murphy. But that would have included him a little bit. Well, no, can't add too many of those. But despite that, Robocop 2, awesome sequel. I'm going to give this a thumbs up for Robocop 2. My rating for Robocop 2 is 4 or 5 stars. And thumbs up. So guys, tell me in the comments down below, what do you think of Robocop 2 in your opinion? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's just a decent sequel? If you prefer this over Robocop 3, I don't understand why. To each his own on that one, but I think this is, to me, this is the last good Robocop 2. Robocop 2 is the last good Robocop movie. This is the last one that actually matters. The rest of them suck. The third and the remake suck. So, maybe I'll check out the anime series one day. I definitely want to check that out. And I know they had the, Peter Will also did return as Robocop this year in the video game Robocop Rogue City. Well, voice Robocop. I definitely, it's on PS5, I think. I want to get that game one day. But anyway, that's Robocop. Love this movie. It's still R-rated. It still has a movie that has balls. Yeah, always being expected. It's a rated R movie. It's entertaining. It's fun to watch. It's blood and gore in it. It's a good story. Good villains. Just a very entertaining movie. And some sadness in there, but, Murphy had to let his wife go. I do wish, another problem I have, I wish they would have added more scenes of his humanity in here, like him visit his grave, or seeing the woman in the shower. I'm not saying for anything like that, but, I'm just saying, to see what he can't do, see that he can't ever be with a woman again, he can't ever find love again, But I wish to see more of that with, I wanted to see more of Murphy's humanity in this. A little more of it would have been nice. We did get it good, but I wanted a little more of it. But despite that, and more of Sergeant Reed, and nonetheless of Robo, talking, it's a little funny, but then it's kind of annoying too at the same time. Just a little annoying. But despite that, this movie is still awesome sequel. Definitely underrated. One of the most underrated sequels ever made, in my opinion. Robocop 2 is awesome. Very memorable sequel. Good movie, in my opinion. Give it a thumbs up. My rating for the film is 4 to 5 stars. So again, tell me what you think of Robocop 2. Alright. So next, guys, hopefully tomorrow, starting in the new year 2024, my first review of 2024. Yes. Folks, I will say now that in 2024, I will say I will be doing a Happy New Year video. I'll also post it. You'll see a community post. Just pay attention to that. Sorry. I thought I'll be doing a Happy New Year video, so stay tuned for that. Tonight, it'll be around 12 a.m. Of course, around 12 a.m. Yeah, that's when we get into the new year. It'll be a late night video, so stay tuned for that tonight. And I will be continuing reviewing the 90s era of superhero movies, including with the 90s, maybe next year. Now, some stuff will probably happen in the new year. I might be moving next year. I don't know yet. But unless I still plan to continue reviewing movies. If anything ever happens, I always will let you know. Don't worry. But anyway, my next review will be tomorrow. My first review of 2024, movie review of 2024, will be Darkman, directed by Sam Raimi, starring Liam Neeson. So Darkman will be next. So this will be tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Tomorrow, Monday, because I'm not working tomorrow, so I can't do a review. No, but that's Darkman. Darkman will be next. So guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed my revisit review of Robocop 2, 1990. That's what I'll say, Robocop 2 revisit review. Yeah, but you'll see that. And there were spoilers in here too, so hopefully you've never seen this movie. Don't watch this video if you've never seen this movie. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you thought about Robocop 2. Hope you enjoyed my last review of 2023. See you in the Happy New Year video, and see you tomorrow for my first movie of 2024, Darkman. So stay tuned for that, guys. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Bye. Have a good one. Bye. And Happy New Year. If in case you don't watch later, but bye-bye.